If you're thinking about buying in Montgomery County, Maryland, you've probably looked at your budget and wondered, what can I actually get for my money? And that's a fair question. Because let's be real, Montgomery County, Maryland, it is one of the most expensive county in all of Maryland. And what you can afford might surprise you. In today's video, I'm gonna pull up real listings on the market right now and walk you through exactly what $300,000, $500,000, $800,000, and $600,000, what they actually look like in Montgomery County in 2026. So some of these are gonna impress you, some of these are gonna shock you. So let's get into it. I'm Petena Thomas with Real Broker. I help people buy and sell in Montgomery County and the DC suburbs. I just did my January 2026 market update. I'll link that up here if you missed it. And one of the big takeaways was that the median home price in Montgomery County right now is $595,000 across all property types. But that number hides a massive range. So a condo in Silver Spring and a single family home in Potomac are in two completely different worlds. So today I'm breaking it down by what your budget actually buys with real homes you can go see right now. And here's the thing, with mortgage rates around 6% and inventory up nearly 38% from last year, your dollar goes further today than it has in a long time. Let me show you what I mean. And a quick note, the listings I'm showing you are on the market as of the time I'm recording this. By the time you watch this, some may be sold or pending, but that is totally normal. But the price ranges and what you get at each level, well, that stays pretty consistent. So let's check them out. All right, so here's our first one. This is a 1-bedroom, 1-bath condo in downtown Silver Spring, listed at $320,000. Location-wise, you're gonna be a few blocks away from the metro. You're near restaurants and, of course, nightlife. So let's look at the photos. So immediately you're greeted with tons of natural light. It seems like a newly updated unit that has that open concept layout, which of course would bring in the natural light. New flooring throughout. Looks like this is on ground floor, so you have access to your own private patio, which is great. In-unit washer and dryer. And of course, this comes with one parking space in the garage. The square footage of this one is 820 square feet. Some of the built-in amenities are community center, gym, party room. Now, the things you do have to pay attention to with condos, and I always tell my clients this, is the HOA fee. So this one is $595 per month, and that covers water, trash, amenities, etc. But that fee is on top of your mortgage, so you need to factor it in. So on a $300,000 purchase with 10% down and today's rates at around 6%, your principal and interest is roughly going to be $1,725 a month. And the condo fees, taxes, mortgage insurance. Now, if we add in the condo fees, taxes, mortgage insurance, you're looking at around $2,788 per month. This is the condo tier in Montgomery County. The median condo price is now $302,500. And I want to show you what that actually looks like, because a lot of people, they assume you can't get anything decent for $300,000 here. Let me pull some up. Now let's look at another. This one is in North Kensington and it's off of University Boulevard West. And it's listed at $279,000. Location-wise, you're near downtown Wheaton. You're very close to the metro there. So that's great to have easy access to that. You're also very close to the Beltway. That's 495. You can easily hop on the Beltway and, get across to Virginia if need be. Now, looking at the photos, this is on the first floor. It's going to bring in lots of natural light as well. It looks to be well taken care of, well maintained. It's on the bigger side for condos. It is roughly 1,200 square feet with a whopping condo fee of $941. Now, this is very common in North Kensington. There is no, special amenities, at least in this building. So your condo fees pretty much covers common area maintenance, exterior building maintenance, stuff like that. Water is also included, and just upkeep of the common grounds. Looks like the kitchen is updated as well with stainless steel appliances. And these bedroom sizes are pretty typical in this area, these condos in this area. You're not going to find walk-in closets in these older buildings. Now you do have a reserve parking space right outside. There's no washer and dryer hookup in the building itself, in the unit itself. So you would have to use the shared laundry room right across the hall. So as you saw, at $300K, you're in condo territory. You can get a solid 1 or 2 bedroom, sometimes with a den, usually with amenities like a pool, gym, and secured entry. The sweet spot right now are Rockville, Silver Spring, Gaithersburg, near the metro. And remember, from my market update, condo inventory is up 54% right now. So you have more options and more negotiating power than you've had in years. If you're a first-time buyer or an investor, this price point deserves your attention. Now let's step up to $500,000, the townhome tier. This is actually the median price for attached homes and townhomes in Montgomery County right now. So half of all townhomes sold in January, they were at or below this number. So let me show you what $500,000 look like. Here's a 3-bedroom, 3.5 bath townhome in Durwood Station neighborhood. It is priced at right at $480,000, I'll say. They listed it at $479,999. And it's built 1983. Location-wise, you're pretty darn close to Shady Grove Metro, which is a huge plus, and also easy access to 270 and 370. Okay, so right away, you're gonna see the difference from the condos I showed previously. You have multiple floors. On this one particularly, you have 2 floors. You also are gonna have a dedicated parking space out front, or 2. So this one seems to be well maintained throughout. Very spacious bedrooms, and it's right at 1,300 square feet. What I love about this townhome is on the second floor, you have that walkout there. You can easily build, if you wanted to have it fenced in, you can, create your own fence. But you're also within close proximity to Needwood Park and restaurants and the gym, which all comes in handy. Now, the HOA situation on townhomes is usually much lighter than condos. This one is about $90 per month, which typically covers things like landscaping, snow removal, and exterior maintenance. All right, let's do another. This is further north in Germantown. It is a 3-bedroom, 3.5 bath, end unit townhome. It's priced right at $500,000 with an HOA fee of $135 a month. Let's check it out. All right, so it seems to be newly updated. It's not going to be many people's style. It has that open-ish concept. Do you have a walkout deck? Yeah, in my humble opinion, I do believe that this is a bit overpriced for the area. Normally, most people, normally the norm here is when you go further north, if you're going to go head further north of Durwood, for example, where like the one I just showed, if you're going to head further north of that, you expect to get more bang for your buck. I think the previous one in Durwood tends to have more value for money compared to this one. So yeah, I just wanted to compare those two. And here's another one I thought was interesting, at least while we're in the comparing mode. Let's head back down south from Germantown. Let's head to North Potomac. Well, I tend to call it Gaithersburg. We are right across from Kentlands, and it's a 3-bedroom, 1.5 bath townhome as well. It's roughly 1,188 square feet, priced at $475,000. Right, let's take a look throughout. All right, so with this home, I think this one comes with 2 assigned parking spaces. The kitchen seems to be newly remodeled with stainless steel appliances, updated cabinetry, and Seems like a new countertop as well. I do think that 1.5 bath is going to be a deal breaker for some, which tends to be common in this neighborhood particularly. I found it interesting because for $475 and you're near Kentlands, Lakelands, you're near shopping and all that, versus further north in Germantown for slightly bit more space. I think you get more value here still. All right. The last townhome on the list takes us to Burtonsville. You know, I don't think Burtonsville get enough love. Yes, it's part of Montgomery County, Maryland. We don't talk about it much, but today I'm putting it on the board. So Burtonsville is located in the easternmost part of Montgomery County. It's about 20 miles southwest of Baltimore and about 15 miles northeast of DC. You can easily get to and from Silver Spring. Just use the ICC. And I wanted to include this because you get a lot more bang for your buck out in Burtonsville. I mean, I'm talking a 3-level townhome that's 3 bedrooms, 2 full baths, 2 half bath, 1526 square footage. It has a very low monthly HOA fee of $45 a month, and this is priced at $510,000. Let's check out the photos. All right, so you're greeted with pretty good light as you enter. You have hardwood floors throughout. It's in pretty good shape. I mean, you have the deck here, pretty spacious bedrooms. I mean, the bathrooms may be a bit outdated. Tiling may be a bit outdated. However, talk about value for your money. This is where you're gonna get it. The layout, it makes a lot of sense for a family. It's a pretty good layout on all 3 floors. And I'd say this is one of the areas where you'll get the most bang for your buck for sure. All right, so at $500K, you're getting a legit home. 3 bedrooms and 2.5 bath, garage, multiple levels, a small outdoor space. The neighborhoods where $500K stretches the furthest right now are Silver Spring, Burtonsville, Gaithersburg, parts of Rockville, Clarksburg, Olney. And if you want to be closer to Bethesda or downtown Silver Spring, $500,000 in a townhome, it's going to be tighter. You might be looking at older builds or smaller units. But here's the thing I mentioned in my market update. Townhomes days on market went from 10 days to 40 days year over year. So sellers, they are motivated. If a townhome has been sitting for about 3 or 4 weeks, that's your opening to negotiate. $600,000. This is what I call the Montgomery County sweet spot. It's right around the overall median for the county, which means that this is the most competitive price range. Most buyers, they are shopping here. Let me show you what you get. Okay, here's where things gets interesting. At $600,000, you start to see a mix. The first one is a small single family home. It's a Rambler in Rockville, priced at $579,000. Now compare this to what we saw at $500,000. You're gonna find that you have easy access to downtown, to Rockville Town Square, Rockville Metro Station, Twinbrook Metro Station. I mean, you are centrally located here. Now let's see what we get for our dollars. So similar to some of the townhomes I showed, you have 2-level. You're on a 2-level. They are well maintained. Rooms are just about right. But of course, the difference here is this is your single family home. You don't have to deal with there's no HOA. You have a pretty spacious yard compared to townhomes. So I must say that's a plus for some. Now the total finished square feet on this property is 1556. So you're slightly up there from the townhomes I've showed. And look at this one. This is a 4-level single family home in the Flower Hill neighborhood of Gaithersburg. It's slightly over 2,000 square feet, 3 bedroom, 2.5 bath, split level home with a garage. So at this price point, you're starting to cross over from townhomes into entry-level single-family homes, especially if you're looking in Gaithersburg, Germantown, parts of Rockville versus, North Potomac. or parts of Bethesda where you'll still only get a townhome. And this home is in an HOA community where you'll be paying $40 a month. And that's, of course, that takes care of the, common area maintenance. And this community in particular, it does have some amenities that residents tend to love, like the basketball courts, bike trail, jog, walk path. There's also a pool, party room, playground, very family centric, which lots of residents love about this area. All right, here's another home for you. This one is in Silver Spring. So it's a 2-level colonial type home, 4 bedrooms, 2 full bath, 1 half bath. Over 2,100 square footage throughout. It is outside the White Oak neighborhood, I would say. It's also in an HOA community, but your HOA is pretty low at $38 per month. You can now start to see the difference here. Of course, this is much bigger. You have the 2-car garage. You are seeing let's head inside and see what it has to offer. All right, so we're seeing obviously now pretty more spacious. You have an unfinished basement, but it is much more spacious than the homes we've been previously looking at. Here I wanted to show you a condo in North Bethesda. This condo is a 2-bedroom, 2.5 bath. It's roughly 1,200 square foot, roughly 1,200 square feet. It is, I must say, on the higher end of things. You're looking at a higher condo fee of $964, pretty much $965 a month. But it is packed with all the amenities you can think of. I mean, we have indoor pool, an outdoor pool. You have a tennis court. You have party room. You have a jog or a walk path. You have a library, meeting room, party room. I mean, gym. All the amenities you can think of, you have it here. And you're just a stone throw away from the metro. You're also pretty darn close to Pike and Rose, where you're gonna have shopping, restaurants, you name it. So this is on the first floor. So as you can see, lots of light coming in from the balcony, but it is well maintained and beautiful throughout. And as I'm showing you this 2-bedroom, 2-bath condo for $600K, I also wanted to show you, I just wanted to go back and show you a detached home, a single family home, 2 levels, right at the same price, actually $100 less, $599,900 in Germantown. And just wanted to show you the differences throughout Montgomery County at the same price point. The $600,000 price range is where most of my buyers are shopping, and it's where the most competition still exists. At this price, you can get a really nice condo in a premium area, or a townhome that borderlines DC, or you can get a entry-level single-family home if you're willing to go to neighborhoods where detached homes are more affordable. Neighborhoods like Germantown, Gaithersburg, parts of Rockville, Silver Spring, etc. So the trade-off is almost always location versus space when it comes to this price range. As you saw, closer to DC and the metro, you get less house for your money. The further out, you get more home for a longer commute. That's the Montgomery County's equation at every price point. And at $600K, it's the sharpest trade-off. Now let's look at $800K, which is right at the median for detached single-family homes in Montgomery County, Maryland. $797,000 to be exact. So this is the middle of the single-family market. Let's see what that buys you. All right, now we're talking. We're up in the $800K price point, and I want to show you what Montgomery County has to offer in that price bracket. All right, let's head to Tacoma Park. This is a quintessential Tacoma Park home. They have that farmhouse look. Some are colonial. Some are historical. This one in particular is a colonial farmhouse type that was built in 1985. I love this one because it has such beautiful character throughout. It's a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, roughly 1536 square feet. You're gonna find wood floors throughout. The kitchen has quartz countertop, a breakfast bar, the herringbone backsplash, stainless steel appliances. On the second level, you'll find the 3 bright bedrooms and 2 renovated bathrooms. All right, now let's head up to Silver Spring in the Sligo Park Hills neighborhood. All right, so this is a 3-level colonial style home. Has 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath with a slightly under 2,000 square feet. And we're gonna go farther north a bit more to the Kemp Mills neighborhood. This is a 4-level, well, it's a split level, so 4.5 level home. 4 bedrooms, 2 full bath, 1 half bath, and a total square footage of roughly 3,000. So as you can see the trend, like the further north you go, the more space you tend to have for less. This is priced at $725. Let's check them out. Now let's head on over to Bethesda in the neighborhood of Parkwood. This is a 2-level home. It has 3 bedrooms, 2 full baths, and it is roughly 2,400 square footage throughout. All bedrooms are of good, decent size. You have a cozy gas fireplace and lovely bay windows throughout in the dining room area. Location is pretty good. You are located near the metro. You're located near downtown Bethesda, very close to Kensington as well. You have easy access to Rock Creek Park, other local parks, and tons of restaurants nearby. So at $800K, you're getting a real family home in Montgomery County. 4 bedrooms, good schools, a yard, and sometimes a garage. The areas where this money goes the furthest are Silver Spring, Olney, and Germantown. So if you want to be in Bethesda or Kensington, for example, at this price point, you're going to be looking at a smaller or older home that probably needs work. But in Rockville, Olney, parts of Silver Spring, or Gaithersburg, $800,000 gets you a beautiful home. And remember, detached home prices in MoCo, they are essentially flat year over year right now. The median actually dips slightly from $800,000 to $797,000. So you're not chasing a runaway market. You're buying at a stable price point with rates at a 3-year low. Keep that in mind. So that's what your money actually buys you in Montgomery County right now, from a $300,000 condo to a $800,000 single family home. The big takeaway, your dollar goes further today than it has in years. Inventory is up almost 38%. Rates are at a near 3-year low, and sellers, they are negotiating again. If you want to see the full market data behind everything I just showed you, watch my January 2026 market update. I'll link it right here. I break down the numbers for detached homes, townhomes, and condos, so you can see exactly what's happening in the segments you care about. And hey, if you want to know what these homes actually cost per month, because the purchase price is just the beginning, send me an email at hello@PetenaThomas.com. I'll have my lender run the real numbers at today's rates, because that's what matters the most. And if you're seriously thinking about buying in Montgomery County, Maryland, and you want help figuring out which neighborhoods match your budget and your lifestyle, drop a comment below. I respond to every single one. Subscribe if you want to stay on top of this market. I do monthly updates and neighborhood guides, so you always know what's happening in Montgomery County, Maryland. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.